if you're seeing this now, it means that spring has sprung, I guess. That's kind of the intro that we're going to go for here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to My Tiny Little House, episode. I think we're on 6 now. 6? 5? 6? I don't remember. I think last episode would have been 5. And then, do I even number these things? I don't even know how I do my own channel. Anyways. Yeah, it's been a bit of a week. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna jump right into it. I had a pretty rough weekend. You see, I got food poisoning, everybody. Turns out you shouldn't eat yogurt that's 2 weeks past its expiration date. It's not fun. It's not good. And turns out that will do an absolute tremendous amount of damage to your stomach. It's not a good time. You also you lose a lot of sleep. That's another thing that I learned. You lose a lot of sleep when your stomach is upset and you got the cold sweats. I got really shaky too, which was really weird. I don't know what it was. Like, I think this thing just kind of depleted me of everything. But oh, this is actually like wait. If this is episode 6, there's a pattern here, because episode 3 was the episode where I recovered from having a cold. So there's a pattern here. Do you guys see that? That's really nice. So every 3 episodes I have to get sick. You guys can place your bets in the comments down below that on what the big thing is going to be for episode 9. 3, 6, 9. That's how that works, right? Isn't that what am I thinking of? There's like a Fetty Wap song, I think. Or no, I'm thinking of a different song. I'm thinking of Charlie XCX, I think. I don't know. I'm out of touch. I'm old. Somebody called me a zillennial the other day, and I feel like that's not accurate. I feel like I fit pretty comfortably into Gen Z, but this is also something that I feel like a very millennial person would say. So maybe I'm doing the whole meme of like, guys, I'm young, haha, I'm young, you guys. You see, I'm young. I'm doing that meme right now, I guess. But yeah, I was feeling like shit all day Sunday. Oh, I swore in the first 5 minutes. Oh, darn it. Who cares? We're not making ads yet. It doesn't matter yet. It's, either way, though. Either way. Yeah, after I get, whenever I, recover from being sick, and the problem is whenever I am sick, is that I get so invested in just, my laptop, my TV. I sit inside all day and I doom scroll TikTok and Twitter. I fell so hard, and I always thought I was so above it all. That's the big thing about me. I always thought I was so above it all, and as it turns out, I'm not. I'm really not above it all. I'm just as susceptible to these things as anybody else. If anything, I'd say I'm actually really bad about it. I actually have a really bad relationship with doom scrolling and whatnot. And we're taking off the Apple Watch. I don't like knowing what time it is. You can go on the floor for now, buddy. Yeah, no, I just sit there. I watch YouTube videos on it's actually really bad. I'll scroll Twitter on my phone, watch a YouTube video on my laptop, and then have something up on the TV for background noise. That's a more Gen Z thing, I think, than a millennial thing. You know what I mean? Just the complete lack of attention span. I need 3 things going on at once. And I'll defend one thing. There's one thing that I will always defend, and that is the whole people who have I have a dual monitor setup for my computer. I will defend the people that have a YouTube video or a movie. I've been doing the movie a lot more recently than the YouTube video. I'll have a movie up on one monitor and then a video game up on the other one. I understand that one. I feel like that's actually kind of a different thing than the phone, laptop, TV thing. I feel like it's 2 separate things. I feel like one is more I don't know. One of them is more for you have the audio of a movie, because obviously you're not watching the movie, you're playing the video game. Maybe you're glancing over every once in a while to see what's going on. And then you have the video game for physical stimulation. You're shooting people in a video game or driving a fast car. That's what I do a lot, actually. I'll load up Grand Theft Auto 5, usually the modded version. What's it called? 5M. And there's a server that I'm on, and it's just, you just drive around in a car and you just go really fast. It's really fun. Highly suggest that if anybody wants something fun to do. you don't really want to play a video game with any objective, go do that. It's very cathartic. That's a good word. Word of the day, cathartic. And it's probably going to be the word of the day for every other episode of the podcast because I use that word a lot, especially recently. But yeah, whenever I get into these moments of like just living my life secluded to my room, maybe my head hurts because I'm sick, I'm not feeling well, so I have the curtains closed. I'm such a little fucking vagrant in my bed, and I'm just like, oh, don't bother me. And I just like, you also feel like shit. The only times you leave your room is to go like, you know, what are you doing? My dog is licking my bed sheets. Can you not do that? Those are new bed sheets too. And they're white bed sheets, so they stain easy. Please, I don't want your dog saliva all over them, you freak. Thank you. Oh, she actually stopped. I made her self-conscious. Oh, she's looking at me now. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Sorry, this is terrible for the audio. You can't even... This is terrible for the audio and video listeners. You can't even see the dog. But she gave me a look like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. She doesn't talk like that, though. I don't know why people give voices to their dogs. Do you guys give voices to your dogs? I don't know what my dog's voice is or what her voice would be. I feel like it would be very soft and very gentle, but then when she gets rowdy and crazy, she kind of sounds like who's that? You guys ever watch The Wild Thornberrys back in the day? Like what was his name? Donnie. It just like that's whenever she goes crazy. That's what she that's what she sounds like, dude. That peaked the mic like crazy. That's what she sounds like whenever she's like running up and down the halls and stuff. She's just wild. But other than that, she's very nice. But yeah, no. Living your life online. This is something that I came to learn really recently. I actually wrote something about it that I don't know if it'll ever see the light of day. It's probably going to go up on the main YouTube channel. I wrote a little like I don't know what you call it. I don't want to say a poem because I resent poetry. I really do. That's not true, but I don't really know what you call it. Just like, it was kind of just like my thoughts on something. And like, I realized like, if you live your life online as a means of escaping your problems in the real world, you know, offline, I should say offline world, not the real world. You know, those problems, they don't go away. They just kind of fester and grow. And it's, you can't always hide behind your monitor and your keyboard and stuff like that. You could for like maybe an hour or two a day, but it gets to you eventually. And those problems that you avoid in the real world, offline, I should say offline world, they just get worse. And it's not fun for me. Going outside and actually doing shit is good. Who would have guessed? Maybe those boomers were right. It is that phone. We did talk about this on another episode. Man, I'm just recycling shit. Don't worry. I have plenty of stuff in my notes that we could talk about today. I have plenty of things. I will say today would have been the perfect day to do one of the outdoor episodes where we like a field trip. We should call it the field trip episodes. That's what we'll call it. The field trip episodes. Where we go somewhere and we record a podcast remotely. That would have been really nice. I have a really good spot that I filmed something else for the main channel that, again, it's that same thing that I don't know if it'll ever see the light of day. Maybe it's a personal thing that I'll watch whenever I feel the need to, but I'm in the process of editing it. But there's like it's like I found a really nice field, and I think that like it's pretty secluded. There's some people passing by every once in a while, but I think that's fine. It would look kind of funny from like a distance, just being like over by the parking lot, and it looks over on this hill. Like there's a hill, right? And you would just see me with my tripod, my camera, my microphone, my laptop, and probably like I'm not bringing the beanbag chair. I feel like that's how you get, what is that called? Bed bugs, I guess? Am I thinking of bed bugs? I guess bed bugs. That's why you don't thrift furniture without checking it first too. That's a little piece of advice for you guys. There's some things I've been considering. I've been trying to think about my future and whatnot, and like I've been looking at not that this is gonna happen anytime soon, but I've been thinking about like different furniture and stuff like that, stuff that I can you know, I've been looking around. I think I'm at that age where I'm like, ooh, that cabinet looks nice, or that couch looks very nice. I'm really obsessed with couches right now, if I'm being honest. I'm really obsessed with couches. I've been thinking like, if I wanted to find a space to record this podcast that is not my bedroom at home, living with my parents, which is my current situation, like where would I want to be doing this? And how would I want to be doing it? I'm like, a couch. A nice couch at that for like the regular episodes. And I was at Goodwill the other day, as I usually am. I'm there a lot. And they had this really nice couch, and I'm like, me, maybe a guest or a co-host on this couch would be, oh, magnificent. It was such a beautiful couch, such a beautiful couch. But yeah, no, I've been trying to live my life these past, especially like yesterday, which I was still feeling kind of shitty yesterday. Monday, I woke up and I'm like, oh my God. And I haven't been sleeping well either. Last night, I think I'll go into that in a second, but um, I get into this weird, really weird headspace of like just feeling bad about myself. Then I just have to like remind myself like you shouldn't just why give a shit about anything. Not in like a nihilistic way. I think people kind of get the wrong idea there. But in the sense of like, well, life goes on anyways, you know? Doesn't really matter. A lot of things in life just don't really matter. And that's not like that sounds really depressing, but I'm trying to think of it in more of a non-depressing way. It's kind of like you can look at it from like the depressing perspective of like, man, nothing fucking matters. Or you can look at it from like the, hey, nothing matters. I can go into the middle of a field and record a YouTube video and have fun out there and talk to my camera. I can do that. And which I really wish I did that today. Instead of, I want to drink my energy drink. Hang on one second. Audio listeners, enjoy some ASMR. I love the gulping thing to do at the end of it. Sorry if you have, what's that thing called? Where people like have it's like a phobia of like drinking and eating sounds. Is that a phobia? Would you call that a phobia? A fear? Oh shit, we almost just knocked over my drink. Is that a phobia? A fear? Is it like a aversion to it? I don't really understand. Oh, man. But yeah, I've been trying to get out of the house more recently, and it's been good. I went to the gym. That's why my hair's wet. It's not from sweat, and I want to address this real quick because somebody messaged me about this, and they were like, why are you always so sweaty on camera? And the honest truth is, it's half of it's sweat because these lights do make me hot, and not in like a sexual attraction kind of way, in like a ouch, they burn me kind of way, and they make me sweat a lot. But I was like, somebody was like, why is your hair always so wet in these podcast episodes? And the honest truth is, I film these right after I get out of the gym. Like I go to the gym, I shower at the gym. That's an important key detail there is I always shower at the gym, just because it's really nice just to take a nice hot shower after you've been working out. A lot of people stand behind the cold shower thing. I was on that wave for a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? This is kind of dumb. I want to feel good. I want to feel good about my skin. I want to feel, it's like getting a massage afterwards. You know what I mean? It's like getting a nice massage after you've just like tensed your muscles, pushing things. Shut up, Discord. Be quiet. Oh, it's somebody messaging me that they're watching the episode that came out today. Now I feel like a dick. Sorry. Sorry. You're going to be watching this episode next week and be like, man, fuck him. He's an asshole. I meant to silence my Discord. But yeah, no, oh man, what else did I have to talk about? I feel like we can get into the actual like episode. I've been having interesting situations happen recently ever since I started like leaving the house again these past 2 days though. Yesterday, before I went out to the field and filmed a little something that, like I said, maybe you guys will eventually see a video of me there in that field, I promise. Hopefully just doing a podcast or maybe filming a funny little haha video. Maybe we could do like Little Daniel has a picnic. We could do that. I don't know. We can make something funny happen there, I guess. Like today, for example, I think like I'm at this point where like my brain is actively looking for things. You know that whole thing of like, if you're actively looking for something, you're going to notice it more. And I've been like thinking of like, what's like interesting things I can talk about? What are things that like happen? Like, you know, I've been eavesdropping on a lot of people. It's really bad. But, also I think because like it requires me to be somewhat more confrontational in a way, but in like a very discreet way. And I'm a very non-confrontational person by nature. But, earlier yesterday, right before I went out to the field, I went to Target because I had to go pick up some stuff like I always do. I'm literally always at fucking Target. And I was like, I don't own any consoles besides like a Nintendo Switch, whatever just the handheld version, and Switch Lite, a Switch Lite. Um, I always just out of curiosity go to the video game section. And I remember when I was there, there was like a guy in the aisle, right? With like I guess he was over in like the Xbox or PlayStation area. Because my Target's video game section is really tiny. It's like literally like one and a half aisles basically. And the rest of it's like, I don't know, like computer duster that people can huff and get high off of. Which I didn't even know was I didn't know was really a thing. I was like, wow, people are actually doing that. Crazy. But there was a guy in the aisle, and his wife like I guess they were like shopping for games, and his wife pointed at a game, and she goes, "Oh, what about that one?" I guess they were trying to like pick out a game and stuff like that, and the man just responded like, "Lonely men like me don't play multiplayer games," and I was like, "Oh my god." First of all, dude, how lonely are you? You clearly have like a wife or at least a girlfriend with you there. But I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, that guy, what's his life like? How lonely, dude? Maybe you should go buy like, I don't know, Destiny 2. Is that a multiplayer game? I don't play a lot of multiplayer games, but maybe you need a multiplayer game, dude. If you're the guy in the Target aisle that like his wife was like trying to help him out, and was like, what about that one, honey? That looks like fun. And then he goes, lonely men like me don't play multiplayer games. I feel like you're cosplaying as being a lonely man at that point. Are you actually lonely? Clearly you have somebody there with you. How lonely can you be? And also, there's something I always remembered. If you truly love yourself, you're never really alone. And that's something I battle with every day. So that was like a little thing that happened the other day. And I was like, that's kind of funny. That was a little like, huh, what's that guy's life like, you know? Maybe we should get him on the podcast. Maybe I'll go, you know what? Maybe he will become our friend and we can make him not lonely anymore. Maybe we can make him a second co-host or something like that. He seemed kind of mean. Maybe that's why he's lonely. Maybe he's just mean. Who knows? He had a very abrasive outer shell, if I do say so myself. And I mean that quite literally. This man was actually Bowser from Mario, and it was Princess Peach was with him. And that's why, you know, he's a very lonely guy. He has to steal Princess Peach. We actually I ran into Bowser at Target, and he is a lonely man, as many of you guys might know. His only relationship is from somebody he steals from, a small Italian man, and then, I don't know, gets thrown into lava. That's why they installed that lava pit at my local Target recently. That's what all the renovations were for. Oh, you know what? That also reminds me. I had to go to Walmart. Now we're just talking. You know what? Now I feel like I'm just advertising for brands now. What am I doing now? I'm just advertising for different brands. I went to Walmart recently, and like I guess my Walmart was a mess. It was like half of it was like gutted out. They didn't have bathrooms. I had to use the bathroom outside of the Walmart. They had like these stalls set up outside. And listen, I'm one of those people, if I have to go in public, no matter what it is, piss or shit, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm not going to wait until I get home. I'm not like, I try not to be shy about that kind of stuff. Cause it's like, hey, it's a natural part of your body. It's not good. It's not a good idea to hold your piss or your shit. You should just use public bathrooms. They're there for a reason. This really bothers me. But I guess all Walmarts are going under this big renovation. They're trying to rebrand Walmart as this bigger, like nicer place, I guess. I saw this. I was like, well, I thought it was just my Walmart. And then I saw like a TikTok about it because I was doom scrolling, of course, at like 5 a.m. last night while I was watching reruns on YouTube of Legends of the Hidden Temple. I think that's what that show was called. It was like an old Nickelodeon show. I always lose my train of thought. Oh, the Walmart. Yeah. Walmart. They're like trying to make Walmart nice. I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of what a Walmart is. I don't want to feel like I'm going into a place that I can't afford to shop at. I feel like I want to go there because I like Walmart. I do like Walmart. They shouldn't sponsor me though. Actually, they really should not sponsor me. But yeah, it was something awful about like having to use these like, not even like porta potties. They were almost felt like I was in like I don't know, some kind of I don't know a better word for it other than like a camp. That sounds really bad. There's no implicate. Come on, guys, cut me some slack here. I'm trying my best. It's been a rough week. Um, Something about it felt just so like, I don't know what it was. And I don't mind like having to like shit in a public bathroom. I'm not shy about it. It's like if you have to go, you have to go. And oh, that reminds me of one time though. This was the only time that like I kind of got an aversion to doing it. Was one time, I think I was back in like, I had to have been like back in high school or something like that. I was at Cheesecake Factory with a bunch of my friends. And as you know, Cheesecake Factory, that food hits you like quick. You ever go to a Cheesecake Factory? They have everything on the menu. They like have literally like they name a food, they have it on the menu. It's that big of a menu. And I don't think restaurants should have that big of a menu because it makes me question, well, what's going on behind the scenes to make all that food come out? What are they putting in it? How are they making that work? I don't know. You tell me. So I was at a Cheesecake Factory with my friends. I think it was like because we were all like graduating high school or something. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think we were all like it was like the week of graduation or something like that. And I got the urge. I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. I have to go. Like I'm gonna shit myself if I don't go. I get into the bathroom. I start doing what I have to do. And I noticed something about this bathroom. This Cheesecake Factory, by the way, was built into I think are all Cheesecake Factories inside of malls? I don't know. This one was inside of a mall. And it wasn't like the nicest Cheesecake Factory I've ever been to. God, all we're talking about is fucking businesses and brands that are bigger than me, like Walmart, Target, Cheesecake Factory, whatever. Besides the point. Well, anyways, I start doing what I have to do. I'm shitting, and like probably about like not even a minute into it, like I probably entered this bathroom, which by the way had one stall and one urinal. Okay, one stall, one urinal in this bathroom, and I'm in the one stall, and I'm doing what I have to do, and then this like I hear the door open, and I can immediately tell it's a guy with his like toddler. And I guess his toddler was like shitting himself actively. And I guess maybe he was in the process of potty training or something like that. And he comes up to the stall and he knocks on the stall. He goes, "Hey buddy, I got to get in there now. I got a kid." And I'm like, I didn't even know what to do. Like I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, dude, I'm doing my, you might have to wait, bro. You might have to just suck it up. You had the kid. It's not my kid. That's your kid. You're the one who had the kid. You might have to just suck it up and let your kid shit himself at the Cheesecake Factory. I'm in the middle of something. What am I supposed to do? Just stop? I can't just stop. This is Cheesecake Factory shit we're talking about. It comes right out of you. It's pretty much liquid all the time. No matter what you order there, you could order the most like tame thing there, and it's still just gonna come out of you. And this guy's like berating me to get out of the bathroom because he's like, I cannot have this dude. Like my kids. He's going in his pants right now, and I'm in the middle of shitting too. You might just have to wait. You might just suck it up, buddy. But of course, I'm a very, like, back then, especially when I was like 17, that's what I was thinking in my head. I'm a very non-confrontational person. And this guy was starting to get mad at me for like not leaving. I'm like, I was like, "I'll just be a minute." He goes, "I don't have a minute. I don't got a minute, dude. You got to get out of there." And like, he's being really, really like aggressive with me. And I'm like, I feel like maybe you shouldn't have a kid if that's how you're going to react in situations like that. But I digress. And eventually I'm like, I stop. I'm just like, okay, you know what? Fine. I wipe, obviously. If you don't wipe, what is wrong with you? Don't just sit there and let it crust up down there. What's wrong with you? Wipe at the very least. I wipe as quickly as I can. I pull up my pants, I leave. And he's not even saying thank you to me. He's like, "It's about time." And I'm like, what the fuck, man? That's the only time I've ever had like any like maybe residual what's the word I'm looking for? Bathroom shame, I guess, was because some guy forced me out of a Cheesecake Factory bathroom because he couldn't put a diaper on his toddler or something. I have no idea what was going on. I don't know what his deal was. He sounded like maybe he had a lot going on, and he probably did. Maybe everybody just has a lot going on in this world, you know? But I'm not going to be empathetic towards that guy. If you're watching this, if you're that guy and you're watching this, if you're the guy who kicked me out of that Cheesecake Factory bathroom back in 2017, sit on it and spin, buddy. Yeah. If you don't know what that means, if you're an audio listener, I'm giving him the middle finger, and that means he can. Oh, maybe not. That feels weird. That feels weird, you know? Maybe not. Maybe don't sit on my middle finger and spin, especially given knowing your bowel habits and your family's bowel habits. Maybe don't sit on my middle finger and spin. That just becomes a problem for me. Maybe you should just go fuck yourself. Maybe you know what? Here's what I want to have happen to that guy. I want him to go to that Cheesecake Factory. I want him to order the exact same thing that I ordered. I don't remember what it was. Eat it, have like immediately have to go to the bathroom, and then have the same thing happen to him. That's how he can rectify the situation in my eyes. Go through what I went through, buddy. Somebody else's toddler shitting his pants in that Cheesecake Factory, and now you have to get kicked out of the single stall bathroom, which by the way, it's a Cheesecake Factory. Why do you have a single stall restroom in one urinal? That's insane. That's actually crazy. That you gotta have at least, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I think regardless of the size of any, specifically restaurants, this goes for restaurants. I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna say for retail stores, I'm gonna say 2 stalls minimum, 2 urinals minimum. I'm sorry, if you're one of those people and you can't whip it out while somebody, this is what I'm talking about, the whole bathroom shame thing. Don't have bathroom shame. Just like let it go for a minute, okay? Like learn the fact that like we're all human, we all do it, okay? We all pee, okay? And maybe it's okay to have a little bit of stage fright, but the show must go on. You can have stage fright, but the show must go on. So perform, baby. Perform next to that guy who's like probably so much taller than you, and you're very intimidated while you're peeing next to him or something like that. Perform, baby. Put on a show, okay? Don't let that stop you. Put on a show, man. Piss louder than him. Put him to shame. Fry that chicken, baby. Get on it. Oh my god. Okay, more on what I was saying though. Two urinal minimum, 2 stall minimum. Restaurants, we're gonna up that by one. 3 stall minimum, 3 stalls. There's no way in hell that in one restaurant that there's 3 people shitting at once. And then worst case scenario, there will also be 3 urinals. You can shit in a urinal. I say bring urinal shitters. Urinal shitters rise up. Maybe we need to make this into a thing. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Go shit in a urinal. Do it. Do it. You know what? This is the movement that we're gonna start. Urinal shitters rise up. I'm pretty sure isn't that like a Reddit thing? Don't people shit in urinals on Reddit? What am I thinking of? Oh, I hear the mice in my walls again. Oh, dude, I have to say something about mice real quick. After this thought, though, what am I thinking of though? Urinal shitters? No, it's sink pissers. It's sink pissers. Do y'all know about the sink pissers of Reddit? The sink pissers are a really interesting group of people. Because at first I'm like, these people are fucking freaks. What are you pissing in your sink for? That's disgusting. But then, when I thought about it, and in terms of how it saves water, I kind of get it, actually. I kind of side with the sink pissers a little bit. Now I think if you're doing it in like a, again, public bathroom where there's maybe multiple sinks, people can see your weenor. I don't know how would you have to like would you, if you do not have a weenor, what would you do, like squat over the sink? I don't know how that works. I feel like maybe the sink pissers thing is strictly if you got a wang, you can do this. Because you just kind of like stand back a little bit and you aim it and it just kind of whoop goes right in there. Maybe make it like a little game. How far can you sink piss? How far can you stand back from the sink and piss? You know what? Tell you what, guys, measure it yourself at home and then tell me down in the comments section. How far can you sink piss? Or toilet piss? I'm curious to know what kind of power are you working with there? What kind of jet what kind of jet do you got down there, man? Let me know. I'm curious, you know? Oh boy. That's enough talk about excrement and whatnot. Well, actually, no, it's not. Did you guys hear? And I want to actually get this right. Did you guys hear about was it Gene Hackman? Is that the name of the actor who died? Because now I have a newfound fear. Now I have a newfound fear because I've always had a fear of carbon monoxide poisoning, even though that's not really an issue where I live because we don't have like a gas line necessarily. How did I think I read somewhere that like they revealed how his wife died. Yeah, Gene Hackman, wife, death, and it had something. I think it had something to do with mice. Cause. What was the cause? Or did I misread something? I don't want to know if I misread something. I'm going to feel really bad about it. Um, respiratory illness linked to hantavirus, a rare disease transmitted by infected rodents. Which I guess what happens is I guess what happened to her was like she was cleaning a part of the house where there was a lot of like rat and mice and mouse poop, and then yeah, we're talking about a lot of excrement, guys. I'm so sorry if that's not your thing. I totally get it if you clicked off this episode. I don't blame you. Go watch I don't know, go watch another podcast. I don't know. Can't think of a name of one. Um, but apparently like she got infected with that from that. And now I'm thinking to myself, I've been hearing mice in my walls and stuff like that. And now I have like a new fear. First, it was like, I was like, carbon monoxide poisoning is fucking terrifying. That actually has always scared me, even though I really don't have to worry about it. It's one of those things, it's like, it can just happen to you. Like, and you won't even know it. That's so scary. That freaks me out, really freaks me out. But now I'm hearing mice and stuff like that. And that part's starting to scare me. Because it's like, am I at risk? I don't know. I'm not that smart, guys. I really don't know. I'm not all that bright, everybody. I don't know. I just heard it again. I keep hearing the mice on the walls. Maybe I need to get an exterminator. Or maybe they'll leave. I don't know. I guess they come in here for the winter, but it's like, it's not really winter anymore. Like I said, it's like 62 degrees outside today. It would have been perfect to film outside. Now I'm really regretting that. Dang. But I ran out of time today because I woke up late. I woke up late because I didn't go to bed until almost, I want to say I passed out at like 5 in the morning. Because like I said, I've just like my sleep schedule's just been so bad ever since, like every time I get sick, my sleep schedule is just horrible. I can't sleep. If I'm sick, I can't sleep. I just cannot fall asleep. Although NyQuil works wonders. If you have like a cold or something like that, NyQuil, that'll just like you'll think like, oh man, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. I'm gonna be feeling like shit all night. And the next thing you know, you just wake up and it's like, oh fuck. You just have like 600 dreams about getting kicked out of a Cheesecake Factory bathroom because some guy's toddler was shitting himself. Maybe that was just a NyQuil dream that I had. Maybe that didn't actually happen. Just a NyQuil dream. Who knows? Guys, do not. Well, don't use NyQuil too much. Though. I've heard NyQuil is also really bad for you. It's like it like does like so much damage to your liver if you take it. I mean, obviously, if you take it like consistently. That's why in the bottle it says like I think you can't exceed like what 4 doses in 24 hours or something like that. I don't know. I really don't even know how to read. I write notes down. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know how to read them. I actually have no clue. Um. Oh, speaking of, we might be having audio issues. So if this episode sounds a little bit different, it's because I'm using the shotgun mic on my camera instead of this microphone right here. But hopefully that doesn't happen because Audacity's been having the audacity to act up with me. Call me Eminem, Eminem, and Eminem. But yeah, it's been acting up with me, and it's been like just like crashing, saying that my microphone isn't connected, and I'm like, it's perfectly connected. And I've tested out on other devices that I have. It's not the microphone's problem. It's not my MacBook's problem because I tested out with it. How did that work? I tested out with a different program. It's literally Audacity. Audacity has the audacity right now to not work, so I can't make my podcast. But it's working right now, I believe. What did I do? Oh, yeah. Last night while I was like, I didn't even know this was a thing on. Well, I kind of knew it was a thing. I didn't know it was to this extent on YouTube, and that is like people just uploading hours of reruns of old like Nickelodeon cartoons and TV shows from like the 90s and like old like whatever it is from like I think it's like anything from like pre 1999. If you want to find just a compilation of hours of it somewhere on YouTube, it's probably out there. I watched like I think like 5 hours. 5 whole hours of like old Nickelodeon reruns, and it was actually really interesting because it was like I guess what this person did was they just found like a something that they had recorded of like a time slot from like a specific day on Nickelodeon from like 1995, I think. And I was like, this is so fascinating to watch. Like, it was definitely keeping me up though. It was probably not a good idea because I was trying to fall asleep. But like I said, I wasn't feeling good, so I was sweating. I was a little twitchy too. That was really weird. I was sweaty, my tummy was hurting, but I was up watching like Rugrats, Legends of the Hidden Temple. I watched that. There was a quite a big block of that show. And that show, I really honestly, do they still do game shows like that? Does that still exist? I feel like it wouldn't have the same vibe though. I feel like I would want to like smoke a joint and just like hang out at the old set of Legends of the Hidden Temple. I feel like I would just want to play around on there, honestly. Just like have everything set up still, no competition, no nothing, right? Just let me run around. Just let me go, you know? Let me have a good time. That brings me to my next point of like adult jungle gyms need to become a thing. I found that like I love playing like I was playing, what was it, like Dying Light recently, and I wasn't even going around killing zombies. I was just running around. I was just jumping around and stuff like that. It was really fun. But I digress. I would love to just, like, go to the old set and just run around in there. I don't know, get all my energy out. That would probably make me go to sleep. It was so bad, my insomnia, which, by the way, I struggle with insomnia. It's one of the worst things ever. My insomnia was so bad last night that it, like 4 in the morning, I was just like, I was almost mad. I was like, I can't fucking fall asleep. I got up and right where you guys are, I just got down on the floor and started doing push-ups. And I did like 30 push-ups and it didn't even make me remotely tired. I was like, if anything, I was more pumped. It was a bad idea. Really bad idea. I ended up eventually falling asleep at like 6 a.m. and I woke up at like 11. And that's a big chunk of like your morning is just gone. Because I have to start your day at 11 o'clock in the morning. It was just not good. It was not good. Not good at all. Not a good time for little old Daniel. Little old Daniel here, baby. Little old Daniel. Not a good time. Except for when I was watching like old Nickelodeon shows. Like I said, if you want to find that, go on YouTube. You'll find it. It's right there. It's all right there on YouTube for you. And it's hours worth of it. It's hours worth of it. It'll probably keep you up at night though. Not because it's scary, but because it's so long and engaging. And you know what I was surprised about? Most of it aged considerably well, considering like, you know, the night. I mean, you watch a lot of stuff that's old now and you go, oh boy. You're like, oh, I forgot about that. I think there's like a meme about that or something. I don't know. I don't know what memes are anymore. I'm 25 years old. I'm a zillennial, I guess. I'm going to get a job at BuzzFeed, if that's even still a thing. I'm look that up. Is BuzzFeed still a thing? Is BuzzFeed still a thing, and will they hire me? BuzzFeed, are you a thing? Please hire me. I don't actually want to work at BuzzFeed. I would actually be miserable. I would really. What was that I just read? BuzzFeed? What was that? No, okay, I misread something. BuzzFeed UK is a thing, so they just made it like British now. There's just British BuzzFeed, and I like that. Okay, on my YouTube page, I typed in BuzzFeed, and then the second thing that came up was an ad for a gay test, and it has those two. I think those are Disney characters from something. I've never seen whatever movie that is, or maybe are they just AI? I think we have AI gay people. That's pretty cool. Should we take maybe next episode we'll take the it's Buzz tests. It's because we typed in BuzzFeed and this is Buzz test. Is this their thing? Does BuzzFeed have a gay test? Should we take the BuzzFeed gay test next episode? Let's do that. That'll be fun. Oh yeah, no, I guess BuzzFeed still is a thing. They still upload. They just don't get nearly as many of the views as they used to. Oh boy. Yeah. I don't know. It was probably the easiest job in the world working at BuzzFeed. All you did was show up and eat like, I don't know. Like, we try all these snacks from across the world. You mean to tell me I just get to show up at an office building, maybe write like 2 articles a day, take a gay test, and then eat a bunch of fucking snack foods on camera and then go, these are really good. Anyway, I could do it. Like I said, hire me. You know what? That makes me wonder though. That really does make me wonder. Like those big, I feel like you don't really see them anymore. Those big, like, is conglomerate the word I'm looking for? Like those big YouTube channels that I'm talking about, like Rooster Teeth, which I think got revived. I think Rooster Teeth got bought again for like the millionth time. So I guess Rooster Teeth is a thing again. Like Machinima, those bigger channels, like they're not really big anymore. I feel like everything's become so individualized on the internet. And I guess maybe like, I know why. I guess maybe it's a little more profitable for like an individual to make money off of the internet than it is for like a big company to employ people while just, surviving off of, what would it be, like ad revenue partially, but like I feel like it's easier for like one person or like a very small group of people to financially survive off of like ad revenue than it is for like a big company to survive. How did those companies survive? I've always actually wondered that. Like, how did Rooster Teeth, BuzzFeed, which is apparently still a thing. I'm trying to think of like ones that are defunct. College Humor, is that one still around? I'm trying to think of companies that like are now like completely defunct. How did they even survive in the first place? Where was that money coming from? Did they have investors? I feel like they had to have had investors, of course. Oh, man. Because, like, that was honestly, when I was in, like, high school, like, I'd say mid to late high school, that was, like, my dream job was, like, I was like, I would love to work at Rooster Teeth. I would love to, I don't know, I would love to have my own channel. I was anybody a Sugar Pine 7 fan out there? Back in the day? I still rewatch old episodes of Sugar Pine 7 whenever I'm like, usually whenever I'm like uninspired to make content, I'm like, I'll just put on Sugar Pine 7 and I'm just like, sometimes all you gotta do is turn on a camera and just fuck off and be funny. Although there was the whole like narrative element to Sugar Pine 7, but I always liked the show a little bit better when like it was just Steve and Kib and James just like literally going to a skate park and just fucking around, and then Steve's narration. Obviously the narration was a big emphasis on it, but I think there is still like a market on YouTube for like just like a small group of people to just turn on a camera, have some fun, and just I don't know, it doesn't have to be a big concept either. I think it was like last weekend, I watched this like group of probably people around my age. I forgot that if I find the name of the channel, I'll put it somewhere in the video, but all they did was they just played fucking beer pong for a YouTube video, and then the loser had to drink like a cup of sludge that they all like put ingredients into. Like, what I'm saying is I was more entertained by that than any like bigger production value thing that I've seen on YouTube in so long. I love a simple concept for a video. I really do. I really enjoy just a small group of people, maybe a big group of people, I don't care. Just fucking around, having a good time. Turn it on a camera and just letting it roll. Edit it a little bit later. Maybe put some funny little ha-has on the screen and some goofy sound effects. When your friend slips and falls, you could do like a woo. That's my slide. Look. I'm trying to become a Foley artist right now, guys. Put like funny little sound effects over it. I don't know. There's still a market for that, I think, on YouTube. I think my least favorite thing about YouTube, I think we talked about this in the first episode, but hey, we're regurgitating topics. I think what I just don't like right now is how everything's about like the number tied to it. Oh, there's another trend I love it and I hate it though, because like I think some people do it really well, but then there's other people where it's like they don't do it well, and it's like they act like it's a challenge. It's like I ate nothing but food. I ate nothing but Starbucks for a week, or I ate nothing but like I saw one that was like I ate nothing but Cheesecake Factory for a week. That's not a fucking challenge. That's a reward, buddy. That's a reward. You can't get tight. Like I said, they have everything on the menu there. You cannot get 7 days. What? Okay, let's say 3 meals a day. 3 meals a day. Okay, I'm really bad at math. All in all. And that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which I think they have options for all those things. 7 times. Okay, it's really embarrassing that I have to say 7. Okay. That's 21 meals, right? You can pick 21 items. Did I do that math right? 3 meals a day, 7 days. Yes. Okay. 21 meals. You can pick 21 items off that menu and not get tired of it. Like, that's not a challenge. McDonald's, that's a bit of damage to the body. I can understand where that one comes into play. But it's this new trend of like, I ate nothing but this for the week. I ate nothing but this for blah, 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 blah. The only video that I saw recently that I really liked, I think this is all over everybody's For You page. You've probably seen it, is like, I ate nothing but Marshall's checkout food for a week. Like the snacks you see in the checkout aisle of Marshall's. That's a challenge. How do you sustain yourself off of like fucking like, I don't know, Oreo flavored popcorn and like, I don't know, pickle flavored cotton candy and weird shit like that. And I don't know, like those, just like random shit like that. That's a challenge. You eating IHOP or whatever it is for 7 days, 3 meals a day. That's not a challenge. Can we stop doing this? It's not like when what's his name? Ted Nivison did like the whole like Rainforest Cafe thing. It's not like that, because that's a whole different thing. There's a travel element to it. It's also eating at the same restaurant, and like, but also just that's all you're eating. You know, I think that's a little bit different. But these people that just go like, I hate it. I think it's like one of the worst trends right now, and I'm really tired of it. I'm just like, it's like, all right, we get it. The first few times it was cool. Like the Dollar Tree ones, I like the Dollar Tree ones. That's a little more creative. You know what I mean? But when it's a place that you can easily eat at, what's the challenge there? That's a reward. Okay? That's just a fucking tax write-off in a YouTube video. That's all that it is. That's a tax. That's smart. Oh. I think I just realized that a lot of people's YouTube content is just tax write-offs. Like a lot of the reason why people do these things is that they can... Oh, it's all a business expense. Never mind. Never mind. You know what? They're smarter than me. It took me that long to figure it out, and they figured it out probably years before I did. That is smart. That could also not be the case at all. I could be totally wrong. Let me see. That's enough of that little tangent. That's enough of that little yap about food and businesses and YouTube. Let's talk about a movie that I watched, and don't worry, I totally legally watched this. I watched it through methods. I obtained this movie through methods that are... I watched this movie while I was sick. It's not Megalopolis. It's not A Complete Unknown, although I watched half of that and it was alright. But only the first half. I don't know about the second half. You guys, while I was sick over the weekend, I was in the mood for like a feel-good movie. I was like, what's a feel-good movie? Let me go look up something. What's a movie that's going to make me feel good, but like a newer one? And I just started doing some searches and stuff like that, and I saw this movie called The Unbreakable Boy. I saw it pop up, and I did a little research into it. I saw that there was some controversy surrounding it. I guess also because the one of the lead actors in it, Zachary Levi Levy, bit of a controversial guy, and I know what he said and stuff like that, and I don't agree with him. I think he's a bit of a, I think he's a bit out there. He's a bit of a... I've seen the Connor Eats Pants stream that he did. It was, and he said some interesting things. I watched The Unbreakable Boy. I'm like, you know what? Let's get to the bottom of this. Maybe it's a feel-good movie that's going to scratch that itch, or maybe I'm going to stumble upon something that's going to make me mad or something. And lo and behold, this movie... This movie made me mad. First of all, it's called The Unbreakable Boy. It should really be called The Alcoholic Jesus Freak, because that's what the movie's about. And if you don't know, the movie's supposed to be about this boy who... It's a true story. That makes me feel kind of like an asshole for saying what I said, but you'll understand why I said that. It's a story about this boy who has brittle bone disease. And also, he's on the autism spectrum. And I'm like, oh, okay, you can make, there's definitely a story to tell here. The movie's not about him at all. He's barely even, he narrates at certain points. And I'm like, I forget that he's even a part of the movie half the time. because the movie's about the fucking dad who's just like an alcoholic and like, and then he becomes religious later on in it, and that's how he redeems himself. I was already like down in the dumps, and like I needed a feel good movie, and God, this movie just pissed me the hell off. This movie just really pissed me off. And if you liked it, that's fine. I had my criticisms though. First of all, I want to say something about this movie. I think, and I'm okay with criticizing this, even though it's based off of real people. They wrote it, they put it out there. And now it's prone to criticism, right? That's how this works. Okay, you can criticize my podcast. I'm okay with it. Both of the parents in this movie are absolutely terrible people. Like I said, for the reasons of like the main character. I don't remember what his name was. I don't remember the names of any of the characters in this movie. But the dad in this movie, like at one point he drunk drives home on New Year's Eve with both of his kids in the car and crashes the car in the front lawn into a tree or like into a fence or something like that. I mean, first of all, that's wildly irresponsible. And on top of the fact that like he's very absent to like the like attention of his child, is his special needs son. He's very absently inattentive to him a lot of the time, and it leads to him getting injured. Like I said, he has brittle bone disease, so he gets injured constantly in the movie, which is like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, but like you need, I don't know, if you had a kid like that, you'd be a little more attentive. I don't know. And for some reason, another thing is like, for some reason, he like hallucinates this like alcoholic lumberjack best friend. And I don't even know why. Like, I feel like that was such an unnecessary detail of the movie that at one point later on in the movie, they try to play it off as like as spoilers, I guess, by the way, they try to play it off as though like the entire time they make a joke about it, as though the entire time his imaginary friend, which mind you, this is like a grown adult man with children, is like, they play it off as though he's God at first, and then it goes like, nah, I'm just messing with you, I'm not actually God, which made it even weirder. Like, I feel like it's even weirder that like I would have been like, oh, okay, if there's, which the religious undertones of this movie, they sneak up on you, they kind of get you know what I mean? I feel like it would have been like a little more like, I would have been like a little more accepting of it. I'm not a religious man, right? I'm not a religious guy or whatever, but I feel like I would have been a little more accepting of it if it was like actually I've been God the entire time. But then it's just like, nah, I'm just fucking with you. And then the movie kind of just ended, actually. I think there was like very little happens after that. I think him and his son go on a boat and go fishing, and then Charizard is in the sky for some reason. A drawing of him. I don't remember. This movie was such a mess to watch. Like I said, both of the parents in it are just horrible people. Not horrible people. They're both just morons. Like, they're both just kind of like the mom at one point doesn't pay a bill and racks up to like $70,000 in debt. I'm like, you're an adult. You're an adult at that point. You're like, you're well into like your 30s. You should know better than to just not pay a bill. And then she gets mad at the father character because she didn't pay the bill. And like, I don't even remember what the point was. The point of contention there was so weird to me. I'm like, you didn't pay the bill. Like, what the hell? And also, she's kind of, like, she blames the dad for everything that happens. She blames the dad for every time the kid gets injured in the movie. Oh my god, this, I originally was going to turn this movie off until it pissed me off. And then I'm like, nah, I'm going to finish this movie. I got to finish this movie. And I had to pause, like, every 2.5 minutes to just get mad at something. And also, the movie, for the record, like, it's not even about autism. And like I said, it makes it about the dad being an alcoholic and then finding, by the way, he doesn't drink for 2 months, finds Jesus, and then everything, it's all hunky-dory after that. This movie advertises itself as though it's telling the story about this boy with autism and like his struggles and whatnot. It's not even about that at all. It's barely about that. It was such an insane, it's not worth your time. If you're looking for like a so bad it's good movie, it's not a so bad it's good movie. It's just a bad movie that managed to like make me mad a lot. And I guess maybe it's so mad it's good. It made me so mad that it brought me some kind of joy to get mad at this movie. It's horrible. It was horrible. My last major point as to why this movie is bad is because Zachary Levi is in it. Zachary, I don't know what you want to call him. Yeah, he's in it. That was my other big point. Buddy, you were good as Flynn Rider in Tangled, and that's about it, bud. That's all you really have going for you, man. You got that. That was the one. I've heard Shazam is good, but I couldn't be fucked to watch that. Um, don't watch this movie. Do not watch The Unbreakable Boy. It made my mood, I guess, somewhat worse, but also somewhat better. It did move me, but not in the way that the movie wanted to move me, right? Not in the way that any movie would want to move you, especially dealing with what you think it would be, dealing with the topics of like autism and like neurodivergent people struggling growing up. It's not about that at all. It's not about that at all. It's kind of selfish in a way. It's based off of a book, and I can't even imagine what the book is like. I'm not going to bother reading it. But yeah, that was what made me actively in a worse mood over my sickness over the weekend that had me absolutely bedridden on Sunday for the entire day. Or maybe that was on Saturday. It really started on like Saturday. Oh well, you can call me the unpodcastable boy because this podcast totally sucks. I'm kidding. I have faith in this show, and people are actually really enjoying it. So far, so good. Everybody who I know who watches it always gives me good feedback on it. Maybe give me some negative feedback. Maybe tell me I'm an asshole for my opinion on this movie. I would actually like to see somebody go down that pipeline of like, actually, give me a whole essay in the comment section as to why I'm wrong. And listen, if you watched The Unbreakable Boy and you enjoyed it, I can't take that away from you. If it moved you in some way, shape, or form, that's fine. That's just my thoughts and opinions on it. It was a mess. It was a mess of a movie. It felt very selfish, I guess. And there was a lot of just very bad moments in it where I was just like, what are these people doing? And nobody's perfect, okay? Nobody's perfect, right? I get that. We all have flaws and whatnot. But I feel like with what was portrayed in this movie, why would you put this out? I feel like this is one of those, maybe keep this to yourself there, pal. I think there's better stories about neurodivergent people growing up and like families learning to raise them that are marginally better than this movie. Or maybe there isn't, and we have to improve on that. Maybe this will inspire you out there, viewer, to write your movie about that, or tell your story if it is a true story. Who knows? Who schnows? Well, I guess to give my closing thoughts here on everything, I think we're on track to launch a Patreon. I think we are finally on track to make that a thing. I don't quite know when it'll officially launch. I'm kind of gauging my free time right now. It's probably going to take up a lot of my time to like make extra content for the Patreon and whatnot. But I'm okay with that. It's probably going to cut into stream time a little bit, but I'm okay with that. I've been enjoying doing this. It's nice. There's not something nice about, like I've said, there's something nice about just me away from my computer. Well, away from my main computer. Laptop's here, but laptop's here just for moral support. And not having a chat to rely on to like, it's kind of an exercise for me. That's what this is. This whole podcast is just a big mental exercise for me to kind of get better at just kind of talking off the cuff. I know I'm reading off of notes every so often, but these are just like little like, talk about this thing that happened this week. Talk about this thing that happened this week. Blah, blah, blah. So on and so forth. I guess go subscribe to the main channel and go subscribe to this one also. Leave a like, leave a comment, please. It would mean a lot to me. Make my little heart full of joy and childlike wonder and whimsy. So please go do that. That'll make me a very happy guy. If you have any, I don't know, if you have any topics or stuff that you want me to talk about on the podcast, leave it down in the comment section down below. I want to know what you guys want to hear from me. Let me know. I was thinking about including like, like maybe fan art or something like that. If you want to draw something cool, I'll put it up on screen at some point. Maybe at the beginning of the episode, maybe at the end. I don't really know yet. I feel like maybe at the beginning makes a little bit more sense. It's like, oh, here's your, fan art at the end feels a little more like, well, you had to wait to the end to see your own art if it got put in the video. But yeah, I would love to put like fan art and stuff like that. That'd be fun. Get a little bit of viewer engagement and whatnot. That's cool. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been my tiny little house in my tiny little room. Which I guess, it's going to be hard when we film out in the field, because we're not going to be in a tiny little house. We're going to be in a big old field. My big old field. That's what we'll rebrand the channel for one episode. My big old field, when I go film out in a field. Because I finally found a perfect spot to do it. All right, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Should I do the Markiplier outro? Bye-bye!